A wonderful sunny day, a street packed with enthusiastic nationalists waving their country's flags proudly, loudly cheering and whistling along the river street, all present for their Duke and Duchess. Their driver had faulted, causing him to stop in his tracks and try to reroute. Suddenly, a young man crept out of the cheering crowd in a black suit, glaring at the Duke's vehicle and reaching for something. 2 shots rang out, leaving the Duke and the Duchess deceased, leading to a national outrage and social collapse. Let's rewind back to see what caused this. Before we start, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so that you're notified when we next upload. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. At the turn of the 20th century, Europe was a continent brimming with nationalism, military alliances, and imperial ambitions. The major powers, Britain, France, Russia, Germany, Austria, Hungary, and the Ottoman Empire, were competing for influence. Beneath this delicate balance, tensions simmered, particularly in the Balkans, a region fraught with ethnic divisions and nationalistic fervor. Austria-Hungary, a sprawling multi-ethnic empire, was struggling to keep its territories unified. One of those territories was Bosnia and Herzegovina, annexed by Austria-Hungary in 1908, angering neighboring Serbia and its Slavic allies. Many Slavs in Bosnia wanted independence, or unification, with Serbia. Franz Ferdinand was the heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne. He was known for his conservative views, but also for some reformist ideas. He supported greater autonomy for Slavic peoples within the empire. Ironically, this may have earned him the hatred of radical Serbian nationalists who wanted total independence from Austria-Hungary, not integration. The Serbian nationalist secret society known as the Black Hand was founded in May 1911. It was officially named Unification or Death. The group was formed by Serbian military officers with the aim of unifying Serbian territories, including those under Austro-Hungarian rule. The Black Hand, a Serbian nationalist group, assassinated Archduke Franz Ferdinand because they viewed him as a threat to Serbian independence and Slavic aspirations. They hoped his death would provoke Austria-Hungary to declare war on Serbia, which they believed would lead to Russia's intervention, and ultimately, Serbian unification with Bosnia and other Slavic territories under Austro-Hungarian rule. 7 young men, mostly students, were armed and stationed along the motorcade route with pistols and grenades. They were untrained and idealistic, each one prepared to kill and even die for the cause. The political objective of the assassination was to free Bosnia and Herzegovina of Austria-Hungarian rule and establish a common South Slav, Yugoslav state. The assassination precipitated the July Crisis, which led to Austria-Hungary declaring war on Serbia and the start of World War I. The assassination of Franz Ferdinand did not cause all the tensions of Europe. It simply lit the match, but it revealed the fragility of the old order. World War I would claim over 16 million lives. It would redraw borders, destroy empires, and set the stage for future upheaval, including the rise of fascism, World War II, and the Cold War. All of this because of a wrong turn, a failed plan, and a fateful moment on a quiet street in Sarajevo. On the morning of June 28, 1914, Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary and his wife, Sophie, arrived in Sarajevo around 9:30 a.m. They were met at the train station by local officials and began a motorcade through the city along Apel Quay, a main road beside the Miljacka River. The day was already charged with tension as it coincided with Vidovdan, a national holiday of deep symbolic importance to Serbs. Unbeknownst to the royal couple, a group of 7 conspirators had taken up positions along the route, armed with pistols and grenades. The street was filled with proud nationals cheering on their dukes and duchess and proudly waving their country's flags. But, behind the scenes, everything was going according to plan. The conspirators drew closer to the Duke's vehicle, waiting for a chance to strike. Then, at around 10:10 a.m., one of the conspirators, Nedeljko Čebrinović, ran closer to the front of the sidewalk and threw a grenade at the Archduke's car. The grenade bounced off the car's folded-down roof and exploded under the following vehicle, injuring around 20 people, but leaving Franz Ferdinand and Sophie unharmed. Nedeljko quickly tried to flee the scene. Čebrinović swallowed a cyanide pill and jumped into the Miljacka River. The poison proved non-lethal, causing only foaming at the mouth and vomiting, while the river was only 4 inches deep due to the dry summer, leading to Čebrinović being apprehended by bystanders and police and immediately taken to Sarajevo Central Police Station. Prior to this, there were 5 other assassins positioned along the route, each instructed to assassinate the Archduke when his car reached their location. The first conspirator, Mohammed Mehmed Basic, lost his nerve and allowed the car to pass without taking action. The second, Vaso Čubrilović, was armed with a bomb but also failed to act. And the other 3 also failed to act following Čebrinović's blunder. Despite the close call, the Archduke insisted on continuing with the scheduled appearance at Sarajevo's City Hall, arriving around 10:30 a.m. There, visibly shaken, he delivered a brief and stern speech, reportedly expressing outrage at being greeted with bombs. After the event, he decided to visit the injured officers in the hospital, a decision that would ultimately seal his fate. At this point, a critical miscommunication occurred. Though the Archduke's entourage changed the route to avoid the crowded city center, the drivers were not informed. This served well for the remaining Black Hand member who still lurked with evil intentions. As a result, the motorcade continued along the original path and around 11 a.m. took a wrong turn onto Franz Josef Street, just a few yards from where Gavrilo Princip, another member of the Black Hand group, happened to be standing outside a delicatessen. By sheer coincidence, the car stopped to reverse after realizing the mistake, giving Princip a clear, close-range opportunity. At approximately 11:05 a.m., Gavrilo Princip stepped forward and fired 2 shots with an FN model 1910 pistol. The first bullet struck Sophie in the abdomen. The second hit Franz Ferdinand in the neck. As chaos erupted around them, the Archduke pleaded with his dying wife, saying, "Sophie, Sophie, don't die. Stay alive for our children." Both were rushed to the governor's residence, but by 11:15 a.m., they were pronounced dead. Princip was immediately apprehended, though he attempted to take his own life. Because he was only 19 years old, he was too young for the death penalty under Austro-Hungarian law, and was instead sentenced to 20 years in prison, where he died of tuberculosis in 1918. The assassination sent shockwaves through Europe. Within a month, Austria-Hungary issued an ultimatum to Serbia and declared war on July 28, 1914, triggering a chain reaction of military alliances that spiraled into World War I, a global conflict that would last 4 years and cause unprecedented devastation. And that's it for today. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe and turn on that notification bell so that you're notified when we next upload. See you next time.